Hey, it's your boy, Michael Kosta. How you doing? This is the Tennis Anyone podcast, Tuesday, November 25th. New location, new set dressing in my daughter's bedroom. Had to do it. Jimmy Kimmel hat, rocking him. Don't forget the year he's had. My God. Canceled by the FCC. Returned. He lost his best friend recently, the band leader. So always been a fan. Always supported him. Always wear this hat. Places I probably shouldn't. Places that probably voted otherwise. But proud of late night TV in general. Love what late night does. Love that it speaks truth to power. Love that it toes the line between keeping corporate ad buyers happy and getting viewers, American citizens, to watch and criticizing those in power. I mean, think about David Letterman talking shit about his bosses at CBS and GE. I mean, is there anything more beautiful than that? And of course they hated it. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. So, late night is declining in viewership. I would say you got to be careful with that statement because all television is declining, meaning people are not sitting on their couch turning on 11 p.m. Channel 4 as often as they used to. But are you telling me that we're consuming less content? No. So late night has to figure it out. I think what Jimmy does so well is he brings heart to it. I think, it's easy to make fun of him because what did somebody say is like, God, it's the guy who's always crying. Yeah, because he's a real dude, man. And I love that. And I believe comedy, especially scathing comedy, especially comedy that attacks, authoritarianism, the executive, it needs to come from a human that really feels like there's a heart there. And I do think obviously Jimmy does that. And anyways, much love, Jimmy Kimmel. Support your show. There's a lot to talk about today. It's going to be kind of a buffet, a smorgasbord. That's a strange word. It's a very strange word. We'll get some tennis in there. Let's just start. Well, you know what I'm going to start with. You know it.
Siamo delle stelle in cielo noi, brilliamo intermittenze quando vuoi, mi fai sentire meglio. Non so se te l'ho detto. Ipnotizzato al tuo viso come ad un gioco un bambino. Avessi avuto un anello l'avrei infilato al tuo dito. Siamo stati la notte, le giornate un po' corte.
For those of you who listen to Tennis Anyone or not, know that I'm playing Lorenzo Sonego's music. The Italian tennis player's music. Italy won Davis Cup for the third time in a row without Yannick Sinner and Musetti. And I think in the final, Sonego didn't even play. I just saw him celebrating, and it just always makes me laugh that I like his song, and he's a world-class tennis player. And when I watched him at the French Open, I couldn't believe how good he was in person. So, yeah, Italy wins Davis Cup. It isn't... I would love to do a man on the street. I would love to do a man on the street where you just ask random people, what is the Davis Cup? Should do it. But look, it means a lot when you win. It means a lot for these countries. I mean, listen to this match point. Tell me, by the way, this whole setup is fucked up this week. It could be easier. I brought the wrong cord. Do you care? People on YouTube care because they're kind of watching me literally bring the laptop up to the stationary microphone when I have a cord that goes from my laptop to the camera so you can just play the audio, but that's not where we're at, and you make it happen. This is match point, Italy versus Spain, and Just listen to it. It's just serve, short return, rips a forehand. The forehand rips a forehand cross court. The opponent tries this like shitty forehand slice that goes wide, and they celebrate. They celebrate before the ball is called out because it's so clear it's coming out. So you're going to hear a serve from the server, which is, who was it? Cabali. Yeah, it basically was just Berrettini and Cabali did the whole deal. All right, serve, forehand, over. I'm doing it again. And my computer's dead. Look at this. My computer just died. What did I do? Are you fucking kidding me? I got all the tabs ready and everything. I deserve it. Oh, you know what I did? I think I turned down my display. What the hell is going on around here? I got to replay it now. I just had my display fixed. Are you telling me, Apple Care? This could have happened live, everybody. It's happening live. I can't see anything. There we go. We're back. God, it's weird. All right, here we go. Volume up. Here we go, Kosta. Don't screw it up, you big doofus.
Italy are the 2025 world champions. They become the first nation in over 50 years to win 3 successive Davis Cup crowns.
3 successive Davis Cup crowns. Also, Laver Cup, United Cup, that other thing they do, the other thing they do, Billie Jean Cup, which is women. So anyways, cool. Good job, Lorenzo Sonego. Keep making those bomb-ass beats. Italy, 3-time Davis Cup champ. I went over to my neighbor's house recently, and sitting on her table was the United States Constitution, one of those pocket ones. And I said, hey, what's your Constitution doing here? And she said, I like to read it from time to time. This got me so fucking amped that an American citizen is just casually reading the Constitution. And if all 380 million Americans even just had a Constitution, were casually reading it, even if we just read it, and I did this today, even if we just read it over breakfast, every once in a while, we would have a better understanding of what's allowed, what this country was founded on, what's being violated, why things work this way. I just want to say shout out to all the badass American citizens out there that have a Constitution or at least are reading it. So I thought I would just share with you guys. The Constitution, which was written in 1787, ratified in 1788. Remember, the Constitution was written after we became a country. We had to fight to become a country first. Is all of this coinciding with Ken Burns' documentary, The American Revolution? Yes. Did I fall asleep to it last night? Yes. Do I love it? Yes. Do I love PBS? Yes. Do I love that you just go to PBS and it says, do you want to watch all the episodes? And you say, yeah. And then you can just watch them? Yes. 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 Do I love that the first episode is 2 hours long? Fuck yes. Am I going to fall asleep to it sometimes? Yeah, I am. But it's not a for-profit institution. It wants to tell the whole story. And if it takes 2 hours for episode 1, then so fucking be it. And Ken Burns rocks. You know that. I mean, I've watched Prohibition, Ken Burns. Baseball is awesome. Civil War was wild. Or he did something on the Civil War. It was fucking wild. But look, we're flawed. We're fucked up. We made mistakes. These are not perfect men that wrote the Constitution. But it's really fun to watch this show. And I've always loved American Revolution as a kid But now living in the Northeast, it's like, oh shit, that's the Delaware River. Oh shit, Albany? I've been to Albany. You know, when you're growing up in Michigan, it's like, oh, that's cool. Cool. They landed at the Jamestown. But now I'm like, oh, I've driven past that place. 37,000 troops were in Brooklyn. English troops? That's creepy. Where I get my $9 pour over coffee, there was 37,000 British troops. All right. The Constitution was written in 1787, ratified 1788, and then it actually came into effect 1789. This is how the Constitution starts. Okay? Tell me if you're on board. The Constitution of the United States of America. We, the people of the United States. We. Already. We. Anyone who's married knows the pronouns are important. We. We need to talk. I loved the way that we handled the week with our guests. We, our money. We, our, us. First fucking word, we. I love that. We. Not them, not people in the country, not city folk, not Republican, not Democrat. We the people. Now, it should be noted that the we here owned people and also pushed native people out. So I understand it's loaded. There's more to it than just we. But I do think we is a very beautiful beginning. Oh, you didn't know I was going to stop at the first word? We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, we are creating what we hope is a more perfect, we are not perfect, but we're trying to more perfect union. This is interesting to me. This surprised me. Establish justice. This fucking within the first 15 words, we got justice. Ensure domestic tranquility. Oh boy, did they fuck this one up. Ensure domestic tranquility. I mean, when have we had domestic tranquility? Maybe in the day after 9/11? That's not our strength, domestic tranquility. We've had a civil war. The Revolutionary War was extremely divided. We had loyalists. I mean, George Washington wanted to be a general for Britain, but they didn't give him a commission, and he slowly started to become an American. The American Revolutionary War, there were your neighbor wanted to side with England, and you wanted to form your own country. Ensure domestic tranquility. I guess it's we can all dream. Right now, look at us right fucking now. Look at the Republican Party right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene just left. She's leaving as a Republican because, and I'm going to get to her in a second, because she can't stand Trump, even though she supported him and needs him. I mean, within the Republican Party, there's factions. Ensure domestic. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense. Defense? It's with a C. I know that means like secure yourself. Probably defense. Promote the general welfare. Okay, I'm down. And secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Look, it's a little bit like the Bible in that they just kind of throw shit out there like blessings of liberty. And then it's up for us, the American people, to go, well, what exactly does that mean? Does blessings of liberty mean that only property owners get to vote? Does blessings of liberty mean the First Amendment, which they write a year later? What does all this mean? But that's the ugly part. What does it all mean? And we're going to figure it out. But just that. They wrote that. And then the Bill of Rights was written. The Bill of Rights was ratified in 1791, and it was proposed in 1789. Let me just read the First Amendment. Let me just read it, okay? Let me just read it. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, no kings, and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Now let me just read Amendment 2, and then I'll stop reading the Constitution on my tennis pod. I don't think people realize that the Second Amendment is the shortest and maybe the most fucking powerful and the one that's killed the most people. There's probably another one that's killed more people, but Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Wild how much those words have affected us as Americans. And you know, in order for us to defend and fight against the British, the Minutemen, men needed to have a gun in their house. And look where we are now. And the forefathers would say, yeah, if it becomes a problem because Joe Schmo, Minutemen, now have assault rifles and can kill people, well, why don't you guys amend it? Make some laws and adjust it. That's what they would say. They wouldn't say, don't blame us. At the time this was written, we needed Minutemen, men to have guns in their house to defend against the British. So, 270 years later, has that become an issue, the Second Amendment? Well, you can make adjustments. Do it. Anyways, it's not okay to not pay attention to what's happening in your country, in your local community. Pay attention. Democracy is a participatory event. It's not just voting. I think voting is hugely important. It's paying attention, knowing what laws. Watch the fucking Ken Burns documentary. There you go. That's easy. And just keep in mind, that's his take. That's his interpretation. But it's fun to watch. Speaking of, while we're on this topic, I was going to do this in a different order, but let's do. This is Ken Burns talking about his American Revolution, and then we'll move on away from the American Revolution. But it's on CBS. I forget who's interviewing him, but the first speaker is not Ken Burns. He answers the question, and I think it's really good.
By now, the cinematic trappings of a Burns film are familiar.
We think of the revolution as a war against empire, but it very quickly becomes a war for empire.
But within even the most well-worn story, he always uncovers the unexpected.
Our editing room, I've got a neon sign, and it says, it's complicated.
Is that why history is important to study? It's not to learn happy stories about the past, but to sit with complexity.
That's the whole story. Harry Truman said the only thing that's really new is the history you don't know, which I just love that. David McCullough told that to me, and I just think it's really important. And he also said that doing good history means that you think that it might not turn out the way you know it did.
By now, the cinematic
I love that.
of a Burns.
It is true. I'm watching the American Revolution like, I hope we win. I think we all, and look, I'm sensing the world and American society is at least shaping or turning toward more complexity. You know, a lot of therapists now say both things can be true, you know. You could have overreacted and your mom's a bitch. Not just, oh, I overreacted, or, oh, I hate my mom. It's like, no, there's a mix here. There's a recipe here. Not just 2 things. 3 things can be true. 4 things can be true. I think it would really help us as a country, as a people, if we're all of us to realize we're complex, and so is our country's history. I mean, even just right here, we. Well, we is awesome. Yeah, you could just tell the story of we, the forefathers. Then it's like, wait a sec, women weren't allowed to even to speak up. Black people were slaves in every single part of the colonies. There was a cool part in the American Revolution last night about how one of the historians was like, the Caribbean colonies that were the most heavy on slaves, they made everybody the most money. And then New Hampshire or Massachusetts, which had the least amount of slaves, made the least amount of money. So that could have been how we got where we did. But I just think it's that there is a movement now towards things being more complex, understanding the complexity. And look, me too. I call out the tennis players and the comedians for performing in Saudi Arabia for a lot of obvious reasons. It seems easy to me. I'm sure if you really dig into each of them, there's complications there. Again, I never expect tennis players to have a moral compass, unfortunately. All athletes, which is sad. But the ones that do, I think, are bad motherfuckers. All right. Ken Burns, poor Walter. He had fucking 24 teeth pulled yesterday. Follow my Instagram if you want to see it. If you got a small dog, I don't know about cats. I love cats, but we don't have a cat. If you got a small dog, you got to brush their teeth. It's not a sprint. You can't brush hard today and fix it. Just get in a regular brushing habit. I mean, look, unless you want to spend $4,000 and have 24 teeth pulled, which maybe is actually easier than brushing your dog's teeth. I don't know. I can tell you that when I sit down after a long day's work and talking logistics with my wife, putting 2 kids to bed, reading the books, packing the snacks, going over the calendar, dealing with work, stress, politics, diplomacy, Trump. I don't want to brush my dog's teeth. I want to pour a freezing cold beer and watch something or read something. Just know, as someone who grew up with big dogs, their teeth are a lot easier to manage. Small dogs, their teeth get all fucked up. It affects their heart. So just if you have a small dog and it's all going perfectly and the breath is fine and you don't notice extra coughing, the vet says the heart's okay. That's great. Good job. You did it. Just know as they get older, their teeth get all fucked up. So start brushing dogs' teeth. Brought to you by Michael Kosta. Yeah, he's a cute little guy, though. He's got his little paw shaved. And he's just sleeping and looking at me. He can barely keep his head up. And we had some nice cuddles. That was my job last night, was just to cuddle the dog. Live shows coming up. Buffalo, Ithaca, December 12 and 13. I'm also in Shirley, Mass. I'm in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm going to try to go to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. More on that. We got a special holiday episode for you. I interview a great author. Surprise coming. You're going to love that one. Stay tuned in. Tennis Anyone pod. Do you have, I'm going to have Aaron Stark on again, who's my buddy, who's a lawyer, a Marine, former Marine. Send me your legal questions. It can be about Trump. It can be about the United States government. It can be about the military. It can just be random legal questions. I'll ask him, and he may go, I don't know about real estate law. But send them to me. Just DM me on Instagram, and I'll ask him on the next podcast. And I'm going to compile a bunch of your best legal questions and see what he has to say. I mean, he really understands like the Posse Comitatus Act and the Hatch Act and the way that this administration is using legality to fuck with us and to move forward really anti-constitutional, anti-American culture, society, way of life. So if you have any thoughts, because look, Trump's got 300 lawyers in a room brainstorming all the time. So I thought it was super helpful to talk to someone that actually knows law. And in particular, someone that served this country and understands how fragile and important our legal system is. So send them to me on my DM, Instagram, any questions you have for a former Marine and current lawyer. All right. I love this. This is at some kind of conference, and it's posted by, this is Jeffrey Hinton, who they call the godfather of AI.
All of our money, all of our time into developing really.
And Bernie Sanders are at some kind of talk, and a kid asks a question. Hey, shouldn't we just make AI do all the shit that we don't want to do, like Wall-E? Cook for us, take care of us. Like, if AI is that powerful, why don't we do that? Wouldn't that be good for society? And George Hinton answers, who I guess is called the godfather of AI. And then Bernie answers. And I just think it's a really good answer. Pay attention to it. Essentially, it's that AI isn't bad. AI isn't inherently good or bad. It's, well, just listen. I think you'll enjoy it. I know I did.
I was just wondering, have you seen the movie Wall-E? Because I feel like, as you've been saying with AI and all the potential benefits, why does it not make sense for us to invest all of our money, all of our time into developing really, really powerful super AIs so that they can just take care of all of our problems? And in the future, we don't have to worry about things like working and jobs.
Okay, let me answer that. If we had a political system that was run for the benefit of the people, that's exactly what we should do. We should have very powerful AI that does everything for us. We should be very careful to design it so it cares more about us than it does about itself.
Do you think that is what Mr. Musk and Mr. Bezos have in mind? Do you think that's why they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars to say, hey, isn't this great? We can lower the work week. We can guarantee healthcare, high-quality healthcare to everybody. We can expand life expectancy. We can solve global warming. Man, let's go do it. That's what we want to do. Do you think that's what these guys have in mind?
Probably not.
Probably not. And what Dr. Hinton was saying is exactly the issue. Are AI and robotics inherently bad? Absolutely not. But again, I get back to the point that I started. Understand. The people who are pushing this transformative revolution are the richest people in the world. They are not staying up nights worrying about working people. In my view, they want even more wealth and they want even more power. So the struggle is not whether AI is good or bad, it's who controls it and who benefits from it. That is really the fundamental issue in my view.
Yeah, fucking clap for that.
I was just wondering, have
Again,
you seen the movie Wall-E? Because
my computer display. This will be fun.
I feel like, as you've been saying,
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it other than it was a good reminder to me. I'm very, very frustrated with this AI shit. Every fucking billboard is AI, and then it still sucks. I mean, you can't, and I know it's getting better, but I hate how we fed it all our art, we fed it all our music, we fed it all our comedy just for free. Is that allowed? Books? I know there's a lawsuit right now with CAA suing a bunch of AI because they just fed it all the books. They fed it all this copywritten material, and now it can churn out books in that style. Well, why? That's not allowed. You can't do that. I'm not even allowed to go play a Disney movie for my kid's school. Remember the FBI thing when you put a VHS in when you were 5 years old? Hey, you can't show this. You can't copy this. So, I mean, it sucks. The whole thing sucks. I don't like, look, I've done a few AI pictures and videos on my own Instagram. innocently have kind of learned about it and regret doing that. I don't even want to support it. I don't even want to take the energy to make this shit. And my friends send me like AI videos that we made, and I'm just go like, yuck. So it's true. It's true. I don't think robotics or computers can be bad, but when is enough money, man? When is enough money, Elon? When is enough fucking money? And I love how Bernie always says high quality healthcare. He doesn't just say healthcare. He says high quality healthcare because you know someone's thinking, well, let's just give him healthcare. No, I want high quality healthcare. I love that my display broke on this show after I had it fixed. Anyways. Crazy, right? But I think it's good. It's a good point. Thank you, Dr. Hinton and Senator Bernie Sanders. Anybody who's watching Tennis Anyone Pod is watching me become more of a Bernie Sanders supporter. But it is when he opens his mouth, he doesn't love to get in the details, but he does say shit that I think more people need to be saying. And by the way, seems to have stuck with it this whole time. I don't entirely understand why Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned, but I think it would behoove all of us to just check in on it. Because there is a shift happening in the Republican Party. They don't have any women. The Republican Party has like 10% women in Congress. It's very small. It's white dudes who are Republicans. And as a white dude myself, nice job, white dude Republicans. No, like, look, Republicans can the country's getting more diverse, whether you like it or not. So I just feel like Republicans intelligently, the party should adapt a little bit faster. Georgia Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene announced Friday she's resigning from Congress. She's just resigning out of nowhere. That's kind of crazy. The bombshell development comes a week after President Trump withdrew his support for Greene. That's kind of why. One of his staunchest allies after she criticized him and his administration for their handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, along with other matters. In my opinion, there's a slew of Republicans that are looking long-term and realizing possibly that the future of the Republican Party is not Trump. And when he is gone, it's going to be smart to have shown that you stood up against him, because I think Americans are starting, I mean, how is it happening now and not sooner, to be fed up with him. And we're just watching him and his family profit, demolishing the East Wing. I think it's intelligent for Republicans to come out against him. It's detrimental short term, but I think it's going to be helpful long term, especially for someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is not afraid of confrontation, to say, hey, I backed out of him. I didn't support him. That's how you know you can trust me when I run for next higher office. I mean, listen to this quote by her. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for, end quote. I mean, that is the biggest fuck you. It's crazy for like people on the left and Dems, because we're people are like, wait, but I like that she did that. But I hate her. I have too much self-respect and dignity, love my family way too much, love that, and do not want my sweet district to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president we all fought for, only to fight and win my election, while Republicans will likely lose the midterms. That's a lot to unpack there. Basically, she's saying, I don't want to campaign in a dirty campaign that's going to happen because Trump withdrew his support for me. I'm going to win anyways, but Republicans are going to lose the midterms. I mean, she's thinking super long term. She might be wrong, but she's thinking super long term. Yeah, she broke rank. And then Trump said, I'm going to primary you. In a social media post, Trump called Greene a ranting lunatic. He's gone too far left. In a video released Friday, Greene said, my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God. Who was a man? I'm not going to keep digging into this, but I think it's really interesting that she stood with the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and that she might realize, unlike so much MAGA, that Trump was mentioned, that Trump is so inundated and involved in Epstein. It's like, at some point, what do you guys want to see? The letter he wrote with the naked body, the 30,000 mentions in the email. It's like, if MAGA was the wife and Trump was the husband, the wife had seen enough stuff with the Epstein to know you've been cheating on me 30,000 times. So it's like maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, look, I'm thinking long term here, and I don't want to be any part of this. And I think that's fucking smart, to be honest with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to go over the Lorenzo Sonego. Let's go through women's rankings. We know how it ended. I've done this before. Sabalenka, 10,800 points. Iga Swiatek, 8,000. Coco Gauff, 6,000. Amanda Anisimova finished the year at 4 in the world, 6,000. Rybakina, 5,800. Pegula, 5,500. Madison Keys, 4,300. Paulini, 4,300. Andreeva, 4,300. Alexandrova, 3,300. So what's interesting about the women's top 10? In my opinion, Amanda Anisimova finishing 4 is fucking awesome. What a year she had. Remember, she was out, gone. Her Instagram was just like her on a beach. Unbelievable. It'll be interesting to see how she does this year defending all those points. Madison Keys, 7. Did not see that coming. She won the Australian Open. Jessica Pegula, one of the more consistent players on tour. And then Andreeva had a huge year. Considering all I ever read about her was, and when I saw her play, I was like, she's 15. She's 15. Well, now she's fucking 18, and she's 9 in the world. Also, the oldest women in the top 10 are Alexandrova at 31 and Jessica Pegula at 31. Pegula, she feels like, to me, she could keep going. Madison Keys is 30. How many American? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Americans. The next American is Emma Navarro, who's 24 years old and is 15. Let's see the next. Belinda Bencic, Towson, Noskova, Svitolina, Navarro, Osaka, Samsonova, Mboko at 18, Mukhova, 19. Too good to be 19. Mertens, 20. Who is the oldest woman in the top 100? Right now, we're at 31. Right now, we're at 31 years old. They're 33. 41 in the world. Tatiana Maria, the German, 33 years old. Wow. That's the top 50. Is anybody older than 33? I'm just on the men's side, too. Is anybody older than 33? Nope. 34. 97 in the world. From Latvia, Darja Semenchika, 34 years old. Who the hell is she? Let's hear her name. Doesn't even have a picture. It's just a silhouette. Do they even have her name? They don't even have her name. I mean, what do you, top 100 in the world is fucking good. You don't even have her saying her own name. All right, let's go to the men's side, do the age thing, and then we're out of here. ATP rankings. Here we go. I'm going to predict Novak Djokovic, Cilic is still playing. Who else is the oldest? Manarino? Let's see. All right. Novak Djokovic is 38. 4 in the world. 38 years old. That is insane. All right. I don't know who's older than that. Let's just go through everybody who's 30. Taylor Fritz, 28. Medvedev, 29. Tommy Paul, 28. Greek Sport, 29. Cam Norrie, 30. Okay. Lorenzo Sonego, 30. Dude, Sonego, you beast. Lorenzo Sonego, 30. That was fun for me. Ooh, Fuchsjovic, 33. 57 in the world. Marcos Giron, American, 65 in the world, 32 years old. Oh, my God. We got a winner. Gael Monfils. 39 years old, 68 in the world, 39. My God, he plays so athletic. You think his body would wear out at this point. Jan Lennard Struff, Jan, the German, 35 years old, 84 in the world. Roberto Bautista Agut, 37 years old. Wow. 92 in the world. And our last player, Tristan Schoolkate, the Australian 100 in the world, 24 years old. So, wow. Gael Monfils, 39. Where's Cilic? Let me find Cilic. And then we're out. Cilic. Profile. How old's he? 75 in the world. His age, 37. I must have missed him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tennis Anyone podcast. I'm Michael Kosta. We'll see you in Buffalo and Ithaca in December, Shirley, Mass, Providence, Rhode Island in January, Denver, shooting my special January 24 and 25. Please come out, support. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look, don't just accept AI. Don't just accept it. Read a book. Learn about it. Learn about its energy consumption. Don't support these fuckers that have more money than, they're just using us as data trolls. Hey, I want to end up on a positive note. Read your Constitution. Think of your neighbor as a we. We. Even if he's a dumbass. Even if he wears Oakley's on the wrong way behind his neck. Even if he supports shit that you don't support. It's we. We're in this shit together. We. Game, set, match. Kosta.